Welcome to the Did You Know series of the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life. A place where faith speaks, where history breathes, and where hope finds its voice again. Each episode is crafted to inspire, to strengthen, and to guide you on your walk with God. And now, to lead us through today's journey, here is your host, Pastor David.
Welcome to the Voices of Life, a ministry of the Church for Life. I'm Pastor David. Today, we're looking at one of the most surprising dates in the calendar, August 27th. You may not realize it, but across the centuries, this single date has carried stories of courage, sacrifice, prayer, leadership, and faith that still speak to us right now. From a small Moravian community that prayed around the clock for nearly a century, to George Washington rescuing the American Revolution under the cover of a miraculous fog, to a U.S. Army doctor who risked his life to stop a deadly disease, to powerful moments of conversion, evangelism, and civil rights leadership. August 27th reminds us that God often works in the moments when pressure is highest and the future seems the most uncertain. So today, let's explore these stories together and discover what they teach us about courage, calling, and the faith that carries us forward. Did you know, on August 27, 1727, a small Christian community in Herrnhut, Saxony, made a decision that would shape global missions for generations. They organized what became known as the Moravian Continuous Prayer Watch, a round-the-clock chain of intercession that continued for roughly a century. One person prayed for an hour, then another, day and night. They believed they were obeying Scripture. Pray without ceasing, from 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 17, and the watchmen of Isaiah 62, who give him no rest. And prayer produced action. Within 65 years, the Moravians sent about 300 missionaries around the world. Their revival didn't stay in the prayer room, it became a movement of evangelism. The Moravians established that continuous prayer for roughly a century. Imagine continuous prayer, 100 years. So let's turn ourselves to Washington's crisis and his escape in 1776. So did you know on August 27th, 1776 looked like the day American Revolution might die? But the Battle of Long Island was a disaster for the Continental Army. British forces outflanked Washington's men through the Jamaica Pass, striking from the rear, while Hessian troops attacked from another direction. American units were surrounded, scattered, and forced to retreat. And although American units became separated and surrounded, and they were forced into that desperate retreat, the Maryland 400 fought with extraordinary bravery, buying precious time. Washington reportedly cried out, "Good God, what brave fellows I must this day lose." But the story doesn't end with defeat. 2 nights later, Washington made one of the greatest leadership decisions of the war: evacuate the entire army across the East River. 9,000 men, artillery, horses, ammunition, all moved quietly in the dark. And then, Providence, a heavy fog descended, hiding the final boats from British view. Washington lost the battle, but saved the army. And saving the army saved the revolution. Let's move on to James Carroll's sacrifice in 1900. On August 27, 1900, U.S. Army physician Dr. James Carroll deliberately allowed an infected mosquito to bite him. He was helping the Yellow Fever Commission prove how the deadly disease was transmitted. He became severely ill, yet his sacrifice helped confirm that the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes were the vector. This discovery transformed public health and saved countless lives. Courage doesn't always happen on a battlefield. Sometimes it happens in a laboratory with a single bite. We move on to Joseph Tarkington's conversion in 1820. So on August 27, 1820, at the Methodist camp meeting near Bloomington, Indiana, 19-year-old Joseph Tarkington surrendered his life to Christ. He later wrote, "My conversion took place at a camp meeting on August 27, 1820 at 11 p.m. His conversion became a calling. Tarkington became a Methodist circuit rider, traveling rough frontier roads, preaching Christ to scattered communities. He eventually rode 18 circuits before retiring. His legacy didn't end there. He became the grandfather of novelist Booth Tarkington, author of The Magnificent Ambersons. Moving forward, on August 27, 1837 in Calcutta, Ganga Nayareen Sil was baptized after years of wrestling with scripture, philosophy, Hinduism, Islam, and skepticism. He paid a social price for his conversion, but he became a bold street preacher sharing Christ in Bengali across parks, chapels, and public squares. His mother appealed to him near the end of his life to return to the gods of his childhood, but he remained committed to Christianity. He died at only 27 years old, but faithful to the end. On August 27, 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. checked into his Washington hotel around 10 p.m. He spent an hour thinking, then began outlining his speech, and finished around 4 a.m. on August 28th. He didn't finish the complete text until approximately 4 a.m. That just takes a lot of time, a lot of devotion. The next day, he delivered the I Have a Dream, one of the greatest moral appeals in American history. A single theme, courage under pressure. Across these stories, prayer, battle, science, conversion, evangelism, civil rights, one theme rises: courage under pressure. The Moravians prayed, Washington retreated to fight another day, Carroll risked his life for truth, Tarkington and Sill followed Christ despite the costs, King prepared a message that would echo across generations. August 27th reminds us that courage is not the absence of danger, it is the faithfulness in the face of it. Thank you for joining us today on Voices of Life. Did You Know feature, August 27th. And it shows us something profound. Courage isn't just found on the battlefields or in history books. It is found in prayer meetings. It is quiet acts of obedience, in scientific sacrifice, in the determination to preach Christ, and in the moral clarity to speak truth to a nation. These stories remind us that God is still writing His story through the ordinary people. He is writing His story through the ordinary people who choose faith over fear. My prayer is that these moments from history encourage you to stand firm, pray boldly, lead faithfully, and trust God even when the fog is thick and the path is unclear. You still take that step forward. Until next time, this is Pastor David. Stay strong, stay faithful, and keep lifting your voice for life.
Thank you for joining us today on the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life. As we close, may the stories we share strengthen your faith, steady your heart, and remind you that God is present in every chapter of your journey. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope. And until we meet again, walk in truth, stand in courage, and keep listening for the voice that leads you forward. This has been Voices of Life. Peace be with you.